There's a lot of fun in this job, I've got to say, but I think that while you have fun doing your job, for me at least, part of that is actually walking for a while in your patient's shoes. And I think that's true of any medical specialty. In whatever field of medicine you end up getting into, the most important thing you need to do is understand the environment of your patient. For me, that means understanding what it's like to sit on the flight deck of a 737. It means understanding what it's like to fly in an F-18 Super Hornet, or indeed to wear a spacesuit and do geology on Mars. Whatever it happens to be, they're the sort of things it's really important to appreciate, because you can't make clinical decisions unless you understand that. And that's really a basic premise of occupational medicine generally. Know what your patient does. And this is the bit I hate. I've been talking about myself, but if you do that, if you are passionate about it and you get involved, then that brings its own rewards, and you will end up achieving perhaps a career that you would hope for and get rewarded appropriately. I think the point of this slide mainly is to point out what an international specialty aerospace medicine is, and I've been fortunate, blessed enough to become a fellow of a number of different organisations around the world, from the Aerospace Medical Association in the United States, the Royal Aeronautical Society in Britain, and the International Academy is originally a French organisation, but it really is an international institution of specialists in our field. So with all of that, and indeed I've been recognised here in Australia for the work that I've done over the years. So when you're passionate about something, it really is important to, or it's motivating, I guess, to get that recognition. But why aerospace medicine? What is it about this that I found so exciting? Well, I think for a start, it's kind of sexy. I mean, aeroplanes I think are sexy, but it's more about, I think, using aerospace medicine, and I'm quite passionate about education. I think it's using a very interesting field that can teach you about physiology, that can teach you about clinical medicine. I'm working a lot with the University of Adelaide at the moment, trying to get some aerospace medicine into the physiology training that they do, because it's a great way to teach some of the basic principles of physiology. But it's a very niche field. So in some ways you could say it's narrow, but it encompasses pretty much every clinical specialty that you can think of, but applied to people in a highly specialised role. But we're very lucky in that, unlike the local ward and the acute hospitals that you might see here, we have very healthy, motivated patients. In fact, so motivated, they will often conceal clinical problems so that they can keep doing what they're doing. But the physiology that we know and we practice is very applied. It's about applying physiology to keep people safe and keep people alive and develop life support systems in very high performance aircraft to ensure their safety.